to you daily, go to slowdownshow.org and sign up for our newsletter.
Joining me in our visual radio studio to talk a bit about JazzFest, which is happening this Friday here at San Juan College. Delbert Anderson is here from the college. Delbert, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thank
and
you.
Also our invited performer, Chris Beaty, is here. Good morning to you.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Welcome to San Juan College. It's great to have you here.
Great to be back in the Farmington area.
I know a lot of folks are looking forward to your performance at JazzFest on Friday, so
Tomorrow night, yes.
looking forward to it. But let me start with Delbert a little bit about this year's JazzFest. And Delbert, this is something the college has done annually forever, it seems to me.
Yeah, this year's the 20th.
Okay.
20th year. And, it started off as sort of a recruiting tool for San Juan College, and it's also for assessments that are done in the middle school and San Juan College levels, jazz band
Right.
and jazz combos.
And that's what you teach, right? And you
Yes.
perform with here at the college. And so this has got kind of a performance angle, but also an instructional angle, too,
Yes.
of bringing
very
people
much.
like Mr. Beaty up here to the college.
Yeah, so every year during the Jazz Fest, we choose a guest artist, and this year just so happened to be Dr. Christopher Beaty, my instructor, my very first jazz instructor at Eastern New Mexico University. So we're very happy that he's here. He's going to be teaching and performing with the students here at San Juan College.
Very good. And you've already put him to work, I know, wasn't he, at the Jazz Jam on Wednesday?
He was at Jazz Jam, last
Yeah.
night, and the students and the community members were just they were in awe. It was really good things to say, and the experiences I really love to see. His playing, and they're not exposed to professional jazz musicians at all around this area. So Dr. Beaty playing.
Besides you, pardon me for saying the obvious, but come on here, you're no slouch over there. But it's great to have another professional in town, I would say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Beaty, tell me a little bit about Delbert and having him as a student. I understand there might be a story that perhaps you could share on the radio.
Well, maybe, yeah.
That one. That's the story we want.
I was judging this festival probably around 2003, 2004. I was asked to be a judge. I was a professor at Eastern New Mexico University at the time. And we, myself and the trumpet professor, came up to judge, and we saw the Kirtland Central High School band, and we saw in the back of that band Delbert was playing and had a certain energy and, not necessarily a beginner-level improvisational style. And like I said, what he brought to that band was, pretty impressive. So I said to the trumpet teacher, we need to talk to that student after this is over. So that's how the relationship started, probably along those lines, and we got him to, recruited him to come to Eastern New Mexico a year or so later. And the friendship is just kind of, it went from a professor-student thing to after he left Eastern New Mexico, and after I left Eastern New Mexico, it went to just a friendship. And I love to see him working with the next generation. I tried to, impart on him good things to listen to, a few vocabulary things to get started with, and he was in my jazz combo at Eastern New Mexico and jazz ensemble, and it was just, like I said, it's kind of blossomed into a friendship and a relationship that's almost 20 years old now.
Right,
Getting close to 20 years now.
And you saw something in that first performance then, back in high school, is what you're saying.
We did,
You
yes.
thought that he had whatever it is to make it maybe a career out of this,
There's
right?
a bit of that intangible, energy and drive that just goes, wow, this young kid is interested in jazz and, jazz improvisation, and it showed in the back of that band. And we had to talk to Delbert, and we wanted to, talk to his band director and say, we're interested in this student.
Right. And, of course, he's very modest, but as you've seen his career over the past few years,
yes.
I mean, that's got to be, as a teacher, make you feel pretty good.
Great, yes. Like I said, not only from a teaching aspect that he's, teaching the next generation here at San Juan College, but from a performance aspect, obviously he's taken the level so far. and there's obviously other elements in his music that are jazz, but incorporates hip hop, native themes, etc. It's kind of an eclectic, vast array of music, really.
Exactly. Delbert, again, you're not blushing yet, but we're going to try to get you there. But again, I think your career with your colleagues is well known about, some of the things you've been invited to play all over the country, all over the world. And so again, I think congratulations to you. And,
Thank you.
And you share that with your students here at San Juan College.
Yeah. I give a lot of props to Dr. Chris Beaty. He's sort of the one who really made it definite, and that's when I said, oh yeah, I want to be in jazz band. And what he was what he taught, and wasn't only music. He gave a lot of life advice, and that kind of education that I received from Dr. Chris Beaty is what I try to do here to all of the students that I teach, and so hoping that someone has that spark, and we'll begin to blossom too. And so thanks, Chris.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Well, there's that musicality that I know you teach, but you also teach a little bit about the business of music as well, which is really important, because you can be very talented, but you could still maybe struggle making a buck at performing.
Oh yeah. We have there's a CLC class called Build a Band, and it's sort of a crash course. Anyone can take it. So it's that's the scary part, is they don't have to be musicians or talented or anything. And the whole idea is we build a band within one semester. We utilize all their talents, but that's when I sort of begin to shine some light on the more business side of things. How to send an email, or how to make a phone call, and really try to get them in the door. And by sort of doing this collaboration with me and the college and sort of the connections I have, it's been really easy to put these students through and have them perform within the community. So it's a really great program.
Sure, right. Now, Dr. Beaty, we are talking to you on Thursday. You performed with the Jazz Jam on Wednesday, and then on Friday, of course, is the big performance, but you'll also be going into some of the schools on Friday to talk to some of the students in the area?
We're doing a clinic here at San Juan College.
That's right.
During, I think, over the lunch hour.
Actually, it's at the Kirtland BIPAC. That's where the clinic will be held.
At the Performing Arts Center in Kirtland.
Yeah, from
gotcha.
12 p.m. to 1 p.m.
Okay.
1 hour. Yeah.
Very good. And working with students.
Correct.
Then.
Right.
And so what types of things are you going to be helping them with or looking for? What is your thoughts?
Probably just beginner improvisation, some simple patterns, and maybe, playing over chord changes, some simple chord changes, just kind of beginner level improvisational concepts.
I see. Understood. And so let's talk a bit about jazz, if you would, that you both, I know, love the genre. It is that truly American form of music. And so what is it about jazz that speaks to you and that has spoken to you for years and years?
Well, probably it's same with Delbert's case. It's just the creative side of the the music that you can bring to it. It's never the same any night of the week. The Jazz Jam last night was a lot of fun, but tonight will be a whole different ball game. And that's like I said, that creative side and that improvisational side, the music on the spot side, and just having to draw from that. I think that's what drew me in originally to the art form, and I think that's what draws a lot of people in.
Got it. Delbert, I know, again, you have taken jazz and added some other things to it, as Dr. Beaty mentioned, some native themes and other hip-hop themes and things like that. Again, is it kind of versatile for that? I suppose it must be.
Oh, yeah. The whole creativity side, I had a long time ago, the way I was hooked onto music was this trombone player came to elementary school, and he turned the music around. And so he was like, oh, look at me, I'm not using any music. And he started to improvise, and I thought that was like one of the coolest things. So that the next day, I picked my instrument, and which just happened to be the trumpet. But the whole idea of not having a set of rules. Well, of course, there's rules when playing, but just you could literally do whatever you want, and I think I really took that into heart, and that's why I started to incorporate, the native thing, sort of my cultural heritage, and just looking into other personalities and what they bring in, and I think it's great. It's really personal, so it's one thing, and improvising, like I said, is one of the I think that's my favorite part of the whole music.
Sure. And so tomorrow, what do you have Friday night? I mean, later on, either tomorrow if you're hearing this on Thursday, or later on tonight if you're watching on Friday. What do you both have in store for the audience at JazzFest?
I'm the guest artist, so I'm stepping away from this organizational side, which is Delbert's responsibility now.
There you go.
Yeah, which is part of being a college professor, I understand. I'm just going to play, and we're going to play a combo set, and we're going to play with the big band. There's going to be a couple of original tunes. An original tune of mine is called Blackwater Draw Bubbling that I wrote in the early 2000s about the archaeological dig, the famous archaeological dig between Clovis and Portales, New Mexico. It's a real fun tune, and like I said, I'm going to be featured on that. But there's going to be a lot of other soloists. Several students will be up, doing solos as well. So I just want everybody. Hopefully, everybody comes out and just want everybody to have a good time.
There you go, Delbert Anderson. What are your thoughts for the performance on Friday night?
It's going to be great. Like Chris was saying, we will have the jazz combo, and we'll be performing 3 tunes that night, and everyone will be taking a solo, so everyone's kind of featured during that combo. And actually, in the middle of I believe when we switch over to the big band, we'll have the award ceremony for the jazz contest.
Jazz contest, that's right.
Yeah, so
okay.
we'll be giving out those who got a superior rating or maybe best soloist. They'll all be awarded during that time, and then after that, the big band will perform. And I think we have about five tunes, and 3 of which Dr. Chris Beaty will be featured on. So.
Terrific. Well, what a treat for all of us. We're looking forward to it. And the details again, Friday night, and the performance starts at what time?
Friday night, 7 p.m. It'll be at the San Juan College Little Theater.
Okay.
Yep.
Right here on campus. And again, tickets are available at the door?
Yes, they will be available there, and I believe you can call the box office as well.
Okay, the San Juan College box office, everybody. Wonderful. Well, thank you both for coming in. It's a great pleasure to meet you, Dr. Beaty. Thank you for being here, and Delbert, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
You bet. Thanks very much. It's JazzFest, everyone, Friday night here at San Juan College.